Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Chiji Stitches. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this smoky top, or also known as a shirred top. Although the material used for this outfit you can see right now on your screen is called a gigam fabric. So I'll be using my Ankara print for this tutorial. This top has a collar, button plankets, and it also has a shared waist that gives that peplon effect at the hem. So let's get straight into the tutorial. These are the materials you'll be using for this tutorial. I have my Ankara fabric here. I think I have it in 3 yards. Pattern paper, measuring tape, scissors, and a marker, an elastic thread, and also a matching thread. So in the course of this video, I'm also going to be telling you fabrics to avoid when making this outfit. The first one is a chiffon fabric. So these are the measurements that I'm going to be needing for the making of my top. Right on the table is my pattern paper. I came down by 0.5. This is going to serve as my starting line. Then I came down from the shoulder line. I marked my bust points. Then I came down from my shoulder to my under bust. Then I came from my shoulder to the full length of the top, which I used 28, including the sewing allowance. Then I came out by 2.5 for the button allowance. So all my measurements are going to be starting after this button allowance. So in order to avoid confusion, I'm going to be folding in this button allowance. So I'm going to be marking half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7 inches. Then I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'm going to connect it all the way to the neck width. From this point that we marked our shoulder slope, I'm going to be extending this line by 5 inches. So from this extended 5 inches, I'm going to measure out what I have from here, from this extended 5 inches to this part. So what I have is 12 inches, and I'm going to mark that 12 inches on my bust line, just like this. Then I'm going to rule a straight line down. After rolling that straight line down, I'm going to mark out quarter of my bust, which is 9.7. After marking quarter of my bust, then I'll come down by 1 inch at this line. I'm going to add 4 inches to my bust circumference. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance. At this 1 inch of sewing allowance, I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then I'm going to divide what I have on this line. What I have here is about 9 inches. Then I'm going to divide it. Then I'm going to connect this line, just as you can see. So I'm going to measure what I have on this line. I have about 15 and a half. I'm going to measure it what I have here, and I'm going to take it down to the full length. Then I'll use my ruler, then connect it all the way down. After that, that's the full length. I'm going to be coming up by 5 inches. So I would be marking an asterisk here at this point, just as you can see. And then I'm going to be cutting this pattern out. I will be adding half an inch for joining the shoulder. Then I'll cut it. Now before we cut out the front, this asterisk part, the side that we asterisk, what we're going to do, I'm going to notch it now, because it's going to be very useful when it's time to shear. So I'm going to notch it, just as you can see. Then at this part here, you just use your chalk to just indicate it. So that is done. Let's cut out the front. You can see that I have opened my front pattern. This is the button allowance point, and you can still notice that it is on a fold here. So I'm going to be cutting out this pattern now. armhole, the shoulder, the neckline. Now I'm going to be opening the button allowance, and to open the button allowance, just watch how I'm cutting it. So now I have my front piece. The asterisk points, like we did at the back, we're going to notch it also. Then I'm going to take it off. So you can see we have two pieces here. This is going to be for the front, and this is going to be for the back piece. So now let's cut the sleeves. I'm going to be using this piece of paper for my sleeves. You can see it is folded here. First thing I'm going to do is to draw this line. This line is going to help me track it. There is no specific measurement for that. Just want to use that line to track what I'm about to do. Then I'm going to be introducing my pattern. Then I'm going to put my paper just like you can see. Then I'm going to pin this. Then I'm going to trace out my sleeve armhole. So after tracing this just like this, then I'll take my pattern out. So for the full length of the sleeves, I'm going to use 9 inches. This is dependent on your preference. Then I'm going to come here. So I've marked my 9 inches here. Then I'm going to measure out from the starting of this place here, starting of the pattern. So what I have here is 10. So I'm going to come to this place. Then I'll mark 10. This is so that I will have a straight line. Then I'll use my rule and rule it out. Then I'll connect it. And I'm going to cut this out. This is the sleeves. I'm going to be cutting this now on my fabric. Then I'm going to be notching the crown. I have my both sleeves ready. So now let's join them together. So this is the back pattern. You can see how it is on a fold. Then I have 0.5 inches interval in between each of these lines. So that is why I said that asterisk is very important, that part that we notch. So it is from that point now that I used to get this, just as you can see. So I have 0.5 interval in between these lines, that is from the underbust through to the point that we marked. Let me bring my pattern so that you can understand. Now you can see my pattern. You can notice this underbust line from this line through to this line here. You can see. So that is this part you see. This is the part we're going to be sharing. If you have any question, please kindly ask in the comments and I will answer you. So I'm going to be bringing the front. This is the front. I've already done that. It's 2 pieces. So at this point, at this opening here, I have 2.5 inches. So this 2.5 inches is for my button placket. So I'm going to be using an interface for this part. Then I'm going to fold it. You can see what I have here to get my button placket. So now let's join them together. Where you'll be drawing this your line, you'll be drawing it on the right face of the fabric. I made a mistake by drawing it on my wrong face. Then this is what the smoky thread looks like. You can see that it's elastic. This is what it looks like. I'm going to be using this thread for the upper part. This shearing thread now goes to the under, that is the shuttle, the bobbin part. This is how you put it. With this thread, it's not advisable you use your machine to reel it. You just use your hand. You have to be patient. Now let's go to the sewing machine. So I would suggest you get a fabric marker when doing this. It's because I'm making this for myself. That is why you're seeing so many lines. So if you're doing it for a client, I will suggest you get a fabric marker, or if you can I gauge this 0.5, then you can do it. I just did it like this so that you will understand what I'm doing. So you can see the shearing part now. So as you can see, I have interfaced it. Just put your interface, then fold it, iron, and stitch on it. Then I'm going to shear this line. Now when I'm done, I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is the back piece. I finished shearing it. This is one side of the front. You can see at this side it's smaller This is another side of the front too. So the next thing I'm going to do is to join the shoulder, right face of the back facing the right face of the front. I'll join the shoulder on both sides. Then after that, I'll attach the sleeves. Then I'll show you what it looks like. After attaching at the shoulder, then I stitched the inside. I joined it together. I joined it with 1 inch. You can use half an inch, you can use 1 inch. Then this is the sleeve. I have attached it. I'm going to hem the sleeve at the bottom. I'm going to hem it. So this is what it looks like now. Then I'm going to attach my collar. So I'm going to measure what I have on my neckline because I want to draft my collar. So I'm going to measure around what I have, and I had 17.7. So I'm going to introduce this paper stain I'm going to be using to draft the collar. So 17.7 divided by 2, that's going to be 8.8. So I'm going to be marking that 8.8 on this line here. 8.8. And this 8.8 now, I'm going to divide it into 2 here. This is what I have here. From this point here, I'll be going up by half an inch. I'm going to be connecting this half an inch to this middle here. Now to get the collar stand, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch. Connecting this with my cuff. Then I'm going to connect it just like this. Then from this point, I'm going to be going in by 1 inch. So after going in by 1 inch, then on this part, I'm going to be coming up by 2.5 inches. That is for the collar height. I'll come up by 2.5 inches. Then at this middle part, I'm going to be coming up by 2 inches. Then I'm going to connect it just like this. And I'll also connect this part too. At this point, I'm going to extend the collar out by half of an inch. Extend the line just like this. Then I'll connect this line to this part in a diagonal line. This part of the collar stand, I'm going to be giving it a slight curve. And this is the collar. You can see where I'm cutting. This is it for the collar. I've cut it out on my fabric. I have 2 fabrics here. I'm going to stitch all the way here round with 0.5 down. Then I'm going to repeat that down, leaving this part open. Then after stitching, I'm going to cut the excess here. Then I'm going to notch this part. Then I'm also going to notch the middle here. Then when I flip it, I'll show you what it looks like. I've attached my collar. First of all, I folded one part down using that 0.5. I folded one part of the collar with 0.5. Then after that, I pinned the other part that I didn't fold. Look at it here. I pinned it all the way down. I'll take it to the sewing machine and I will sew it with half an inch. Then after sewing it with half an inch, I would use these parts that I folded to cover up the rough edges. Now you can see I have attached my collar already. I'm also going to hem the bottom. I'm just going to fold it and hem it. Like I said, I'm going to tell you some fabrics to avoid for the production of this. So I mentioned chiffon. There's also satin, silk fabric, jersey stroke stretchy fabrics. Quick summary: Ankara can work, just as you can see how beautiful it is. I'm going to put it on the mannequin. And when you're going for Ankara, use a soft, lightweight Ankara. Avoid Ankara that are very stiff, that stiff wax Ankara. So if you want to produce this, you can use like 2 yards to 2.5 yards, depending on the size, that is the body. Why I said you should avoid stiff Ankara is because smoky or shearing needs fabric that gathers easily. To attach the buttons, there are 2 ways. You can make this to be like a shirt top. Then you just infuse your buttons, just like the one that I posted that my clients made. Or you can also make a false button. When I mean a false button, you're just going to put your plankets together just like this. I'll be using this button for just the experiment. So when you've put it like this, then you just place the button on the part where you would want it to be, how open you want it to be, whether you want to show your cleavages or you don't want to show your cleavages. It all depends on you. Then you just put it together like this. You put your button and you just hand tack it. So you can do that for the numbers of button you want. So when you hand tack it now, it will not be able to open up as a shirt. So you will just be wearing it right from your head. So you will not need to open it up like a button shirt style or a button shirt top. Yeah, and that brings us to the end of this tutorial. So if you found this tutorial helpful, please do like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. I'm going to be making this top for yourself. Please let me know in the comments, and let me also know the material that you'll be using, and whenever you do that, so you can tag us on the picture at Chiji Stitches. That is our Instagram handle, and I'm going to wear it on my mannequin. Do not be a stranger on this channel. Please always comment and always like. See you in my next tutorial. So there is a pants for this. If you want to use this type of shorts for this, kindly also mention in the comments, and I'll do a tutorial for these shorts you can see right on your screen. See you in my next tutorial. Bye for now.